In this Edexcel 4-mark question, we are told, okay, or given that, okay, the diagram shows an isosceles triangle ABD and the straight line ABC, okay, and we're told that BA equals BD, ratio of x to y is 2 to 1. For us to work out the value of W, question 6 from my past paper, and it's worth 4 marks on the Edexcel paper. Idea. So it doesn't look like we've been given like a lot of information here, but we actually have. Okay, so step one, guys, or knowing that isosceles triangles. So if BD and BA are the same, that means that this angle, so angle A and angle D, are also going to be the same. Okay, because that's the definition of isosceles triangles. Okay, that these corresponding angles are also equal. Okay, the ones I'm pointing the arrow to from that line or that dashed line. Okay, what next, guys? Well, we know that angles in a triangle add to make 180 degrees, and also angles in a straight line add to make 180 degrees. Okay, so that's going to be important later. But how do we work out the value of x and y first? Well, the ratio of x to y is 2 to 1, so angle x is double y. Now we know that angles in triangles add to make 180, so I'm going to be sharing 180 degrees in the ratio 2 to 1. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 plus 1, or 2 add 1 makes 3, guys. I'm going to do 180 divided by 3, so 180 degrees. Divide that by 3, we're going to get 60 degrees. Okay, which is equal to obviously 1 part. Okay, now if we've got 2 parts to 1 part, we can obviously work out x and y. So x is going to be double y. Okay, so angle y will be 60 degrees. Okay, and angle x, if you're wondering. No, sorry, wait 1 second. Sorry, x is going to be double y. I apologize. Okay, so if x is double y, right, y will be 30 degrees. Okay, and the x values is going to be 60 and 60. Nope, that's not right either. Okay, because 60 plus 60 makes 120 plus 30 makes 150. Okay, so x is 60. Nope, that's not right either. Okay, so x to y is 2 to 1. So x is double y. So if one part is 60, okay, which is y, then x has to be double that, which is going to be 120. But it's not an isosceles. Yeah, it's not an equilateral triangle, so that isn't going to make sense. Have I made a mistake or something? So one part is 60 degrees, so that means 2 parts, okay, is 120 degrees. But obviously x can't be 120 because that obviously makes it above 180, which we can't have. So we're going to share it here. So that's 60, that makes 180. So x to y, right, is 2 to 1. So x is double y. So if it's 40, okay, 80 and 80, 80 plus 80 makes 160. So that isn't right either. Okay. I think I've actually been stumped here. Have I made a mistake or not? So these two are going to be the same, right? So 2x plus y has to equal 180. So y is equal to 180 minus 2x. and W will be equal to just a 2x. Because the angles on a straight line, you add to make 180. And if you add them together, W plus Y has to equal 180. And if Y is equal to 180 minus 2x, then to obviously cancel this minus 2x, I've got to obviously add 2x to keep it to 180. Why am I deep in this, guys? I apologise. I have no idea what I've done wrong here. So x plus y, and x is double y, so we have 2y plus 2y plus y equals 180. So we have 5 lots of y is 180. Divide 180 by 5. So divide it by 10 and then double it, you're going to get 36. There we go. Okay, so if y is 36, guys. There we go. Okay, so we got there in the end. Right, x is going to be double that, so that's going to be 72, which is 144. Yep, that is now correct. Okay, we got there in the end. I shall apologise. Okay, therefore w will be equal to 2 lots of x. So that'll be 144. Yep. So there we go, guys. Yeah, we got there in the end. I shall apologise. I don't know why it took me so long to get that. So w is 144 degrees. We got there in the end. Okay, so I'll form an equation based on that. If x is 2y, which is x is double y, okay, then I can make an equation for 2x plus y equals 180, replacing x with 2y. So we have 2 lots of 2y, which would be 4y plus y makes 180. So yeah, so ignore this part here because that's not really relevant anymore. But we got there in the end. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I think I had like a little blip for a second. Okay, but you can see now, guys, yeah, that this is how I tackle these problems, okay, because they're not always very simple. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, sorry for waffling there.